Dear Miss 3477, I wonder if you would like to write to me, as I understand that you are interested in finding companionship.
I, too, am a solitary soul, and would be very glad to hear of another such. Our ages, it seems, are about the same, and I feel that we might have tastes in common. As I am in the happy position of not having to worry about earning a living, though not exactly one of the idle rich, time does drag a bit, so you will understand how hopeful I am of hearing from you. Yours very sincerely, 4122, RN, retired.
Dear Mr. 4122, I was so pleased to receive your letter this morning. It had been forwarded to me very promptly and gave me a nice feeling of being less of a stranger in my new surroundings. Of course, I couldn't help noticing that you are a Navy man, and smile though you may, I must tell you that I simply adore the sea and everything to do with it. But enough of that for the moment, or you will think me silly and romantic and quite unrealistic.
Chef says, was the porridge to your satisfaction, madam?
Delicious, my dear.
On account of the complaint from number 7.
Quite delicious.
Open the door, please. Open the door, please.
Two possibilities. One, girl in the clock tea rooms thinks she saw Mrs. Bannister in there 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Which here?
Oh. With a man, middle-aged, grey hair, gallant, she called him. Bit of a fancy lad. Two, girl in a copper kettle, Italian she is, says she remembers Miss Reckitt in there because it was the day she started. With a man...
Miss Reckitt?
Middle-aged, silver hair, dark clothes, hands like so, and all the time he is looking very sad at my legs. She thinks he was a priest.
You've gathered more than I expected, Sid. Wish I had your way with women.
I wouldn't have thought the descriptions were much help.
Oh, it's much clearer now, the sort of man we're looking for.
Yeah, a clergyman who writes books.
No, not at all. Clergyman who doesn't write books.
Oh, that should be easy enough.
Well, not easy. But less difficult in the context of Flaxborough society than looking for, shall we say, an embezzler or fornicator. A needle is much simpler to find in a haystack than it is in a barrel of other needles. No, what we're looking for is a professional con man.
Which means he specialises.
Exactly. A full-timer who's forever pointed towards an altar. God, Sid, just imagine. Think of a lifetime of perpetual courtship of the last woman on earth you want to marry. That's real graft. So you see, what we want is not an ordinary criminal, but a chameleon. Someone who adopts whatever pose is best suited to the job in hand.
I wonder how they communicated between meetings. Without his having to give his address away, I mean. Some sort of box number, I suppose.
How about one of those matrimonial agencies?
Staunch. That's what I've seen their name. She runs an ad in the paper. I knew I'd seen it somewhere.
And she's got an office in the Northgate area, where the Liberal Party used to be. I think I'll pop over there. What do you think I should ask for? Catalogue?
I presume you're not here to offer yourself as a client, Inspector.
Hardly.
I thought not. You don't look married, which is a sure sign that you have a wife and are well content with her.
I must tell Mrs. Purbright. Oh, no, I don't, thank you. May I ask, Mrs. Staunch, is there a Mr. Staunch? Or do you run this agency alone?
Oh, no, my husband's an architect.
Ah.
Well, architectural consultant, actually. The next time you want your cells rebuilding or whatever, send for Donald. He did a prison block once. He's very good. Or so he tells me.
Oh, I must remember that.
I'm afraid poor dear old Donald has the traditional middle-class attitude to matrimonial agencies. Terribly not on, don't you know?
There are two women we're rather anxious to chase. One is a widow and the other unmarried. We think they probably contacted your agency in the last 6 months or so.
Are you saying they've disappeared?
Well, in effect, yes.
Oh, dear. Well, you'd better give me their names.
One is Miss Martha Reckitt and Mrs. Lillian Bannister.
You think in the last 6 months?
Well, in the case of Mrs. Bannister, about 4 months. At least from the date on the cheque she made out to you.
I do indeed remember Mrs. Bannister. She used my services for, several weeks.
Okay.
I'm fairly sure the other lady was also a client. Just let me look in my records. The trouble is... Tell me if I'm jumping too far ahead, Inspector. But I can see that you believe that something has happened to these women, which leads you naturally to suppose that some kind of criminal is responsible, and gives you the idea that they might have met him through this agency. Am I right?
Well, I wouldn't quite...
Please be frank. I certainly intend to be.
All right. Yes, that is the argument so far.
Ah. Well, then, let me explain certain difficulties which probably haven't occurred to you. It's terribly important for people who come here to feel that the whole thing is strictly confidential. So after the initial files are filled in, you know the sort of thing, age, hobbies, tastes...
Financial means?
If it seems relevant, yes. Well, all these things go down on record, and I allocate people a number. Thereafter, all letters are addressed by that number alone. Well, they pass through this office for redirection, of course. But as you can see, even I don't know who contacts whom. My only function is to effect introductions.
In my uninstructed optimism, of course, I'd hoped for a simple name and address.
Life is never that simple, Mr. Purbright.
Indeed it is not, Mrs. Staunch. Takes all sorts, doesn't it?
Ah, yes. Here we are, Miss Reckitt and Mrs. Bannister. I thought they'd both still be on file. They fill in the forms themselves, of
Thank you.
course.
Both these forms are typewritten.
What? Oh, yes, of course. How silly of me. We make copies from the originals. So much easier when it comes to the selection of information, you understand.
And presumably the original forms, the original ones with the samples of handwriting on them, are in due course committed to the wastepaper basket.
Yes. I don't quite...
No matter.
It doesn't take much to recognize two very lonely people, does it, Inspector?
No, indeed. And there's nothing quite so saddening as the conflict between fear and loneliness.
Nothing.
And perhaps nothing quite so dangerous. Tell me, Mrs. Staunch, isn't there a real possibility of someone exploiting an agency such as yours? I mean, obviously these two women are looking for trouble.
By putting down details of their finances, you mean?
That's exactly what I mean.
Ah, but all those things are absolutely confidential. I never pass them on with introductions.
So what you cannot tell me, then, is the identity of those clients who made contact with Miss Reckitt and Mrs. Bannister.
I'm afraid that's so.
But you do have a record of the list of men from whom they might make their choice.
Record? Oh, well, no, I'm afraid I have no record of that kind. We're dealing with mutual trust, Inspector.
We could be dealing with murder, Mrs. Staunch.
But you can't say that.
Well, the possibility, then. And more important, I would think, than a question of professional etiquette.
Well, there really are no records of these lists. But what I will do is to go through my files and see if I can reconstruct the one that I sent to Mrs. Bannister. I know my own system. There's no reason why it shouldn't be pretty nearly accurate.
And Miss Reckitt?
Oh, no. I'm afraid that's too far back. 2 months ago, I tidied up the files, and a lot of the names won't be there anymore.
I see.
Yes, as you have guessed, I am an old salt. Though not that old, I assure you. And of course I was thrilled to hear that you too have a love of the deep. We must have talks about that when, as I'm bold enough to hope, we meet. Please say we may. A word, and all will be arranged. Yours impatiently, 4122. P.S. It's Jack to my friends.
What else?
Well, here, Mr. Purbright encloses the list of names and details as requested. 3122 Kappa Joseph, Home Farm.
Don't know.
No. 3166 Singleton, William C., 14 Byron Road.
No.
No. 3244 Plume George, Prospect House, Beale Street.
You can cross him off.
Why?
He's dead.
Well, that does rather inhibit us. How would he have ranked as a suspect, though?
Well, the funeral report said he was 94.
Oh. Widow of 3 months, an active beekeeper and tandem enthusiast. Would welcome the company of lively lady.
That was George, all right. A very well-preserved old gentleman.
3622 Rusk, Leonard Henry. Huh? And lot 3866, Rowley Arthur James, 14 Leicester Avenue.
Council houses.
Oh, he's a doubtful starter, then. One thing I've known is company directors and con men have one thing in common, a fussiness over a dress. Right, Sid. You take these two.
Right.
And I'll take... Oh, he's dead. I'll take these. Now, what are we looking for, apart from samples of handwriting?
A clever talker.
Yeah.
Who looks as if he might have a way with women. Possibly with the clergyman look about him. Grey hair, unless he's dyed it. With the facilities for hiding or getting rid of bodies.
Bodies. It's their failure to turn up that's making this case very complicated.
I am most intrigued by this secret ambition you mention. Are you going to tell me what it is? I promise faithfully not to think you silly and romantic. In any case, aren't we all at heart?
Well, my two aren't involved. According to the handwriting experts, we can say goodbye to the lot of them.
Yeah, I knew my two weren't con men. Just lonely, I suppose. I feel sorry for them. The women, I mean.
Yeah, so do I. Very sorry. Purbright. Oh, hello, Mrs. Staunch. When? It's Mrs. Staunch. She thinks she's had a burglar. Anything missing?
They've been in here again. I'm afraid I can't say I haven't touched anything, Inspector. I didn't notice the window straight away. You don't think it could have anything to do with that other business, do you?
I don't know. Possibly.
Excuse me. You said again, Mrs. Staunch.
I'm sorry.
They've been in there again. That's what you said?
It was just before Christmas. The window was broken, the files... But I thought it was vandalism. I didn't report it. I should have done. I'm sorry.
The thing being, of course, that our man could have been using this place as a blind.
I'm sorry. I don't see how.
Yes, indeed. I think I can see what the sergeant's getting at.
Supposing somebody broke in, jotted down a few names, and then just wrote to them. No need for him to be a customer, client at all.
I think you're onto something, Sam.
Well, yes, I can see that, but they'd have to be addressed by number for forwarding.
Well, he'd have the numbers, though, wouldn't he? He'd send a letter here, and you just forward it on. You'd hardly know anything was wrong.
But what about the reply? He couldn't come and collect it, and I obviously wouldn't forward anything that didn't tie in with my records.
But, supposing he put his own address and got the ladies to reply to him direct.
Right.
I just can't believe that the work I do can be subject to such abuse. I'm so very sorry.
Mrs. Staunch, would you mind very much if I have a quiet word with my sergeant alone?
Oh, yes, of course. Forgive me. You will remember what I said, won't you, Inspector, about confidences? I mean, they're the whole essence.
Well, if you're right, you can see what a dismal prospect this opens up, can't you, Sid? Instead of a few dozen nicely docketed names and addresses, we've got the entire male population to choose from.
I mean, just a thought.
Yeah, and a good one. If only that it shows me I've been going about this in completely the wrong way. We know nothing about this man, what he looks like, where he lives. We don't even know if he's registered with this agency. What we do know, though, is how he gets his victims. So instead of chasing the hunter, why don't we watch the quarry instead, eh?
You mean ask Mrs. Staunch for a list of her ladies?
The new ones, over the last month or so.
I'll get her then, shall I?
Oh, I suspect, Sid, that if you do that, we'll spend the entire day going through the finer points of confidentiality. So, why don't we find them ourselves, eh? Well, I mean...
Until we meet tomorrow, then. Yours even more impatiently, Jack.
2 old-age pensioners, a school cook, maintenance money, £4.50 a week. Not exactly a rich field for criminal exploitation, eh, Sid?
Amazing how they could afford the signing-on fee.
Last throw, I suppose. These two are interesting, though. Rose Prentice, 58, divorcee. Occupation, stock breeding and farm management. Personal appearance, good seat. Qualities required in a mate: strong, energetic, used to stud work, willing to muck out, and a lover of children. She's got 5. Yeah, I can't imagine he'd want to muck out with 5 kids watching him.
If he's still at it.
And greed being what it is, he will be. Oh, this last one, Sid. Now, this last one could be the almost perfect bait.
I'm sure I shall recognize you on instinct. But just to make sure that neither of us accosts a perfect stranger, I suggest you have in your hand some flower or piece of greenery. You will spot me, I expect, by my ugly old quarter-deck mug. No, I'm joking. My face is not all that fearsome, really.
Flowers. Christ.
You didn't mean me to miss you, did you? Jack Trelawney, at your service.
How do you do, Mr. Trelawney?
How do you do? And now, Miss 3477, how am I to call you? 3 for short?
Actually, introductions have never been the happiest moments of my life. You see, my name happens to be Teatime. It really does.
Teatime? How refreshingly different. I like it, I really do. And your first name?
Lucy. Well, actually, it's Lucilla Edith Cavell Teatime. But I think that's a bit gothic.
Oh, no, Lucy will do very nicely, you know. I'm very pleased to have met you, Lucy. It's very...
Did you have far to come?
No, not really. I say, I am so glad it's turned out so fine, though, eh? Perhaps later we go and have a stroll down by the river.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Yes. But first, how about some chow?
Chow would be most acceptable.
It's a very nice place, I know. It's just the other side of the station. They do an awfully good scampi.
Lovely. I don't suppose you happen to have a paper bag or anything?
Look, I say, there's a bit of root left on.
Really?
You never know that might take. I tell you what, Lucy. Let's plant it to commemorate our first meeting.
Well, here.
Just there.
Lovely.
You sure?
Oh.
Yeah, so you're just staying here then, are you, Lizzie?
Well, for the time being. It seems an altogether charming town from what I've seen of it.
Yes. Oh, I must make a note of the address.
Well, actually, I've put up at the White Hart Hotel.
Oh, jolly nice berth, too. What about your proper home? Your real home?
Well, I suppose I haven't one, really. The house was so big it seemed pointless hanging on to it when Father passed away.
You're the only one?
Mummy died 6 years ago, and... yes, I'm the only one. Anyway, with the ridiculous prices people are prepared to pay for an Elizabethan manor house in Berkshire, it seemed stupid not to turn it to good account.
You sold it then?
Well, it's going through.
Oh, best thing, you know. Memories, etc., etc.
Do you live in the country, Mr. Trelawney?
Jack. More or less, yes. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm a bit of a bird of passage at the moment, like yourself.
I see.
I've never wanted to settle down, to be quite honest. I don't think it's fair on a woman being tied up in port while her husband rolls around the world. Of course, when his sailing days are over. It's different, isn't it? No, well, if I had told you what I really wanted, you'd just think I was being sentimental. But you'd be surprised what a man thinks about when he's rounding the bight, keeping his eyes skinned for bergs away off Iceland or somewhere. Anyway, you don't want to listen to my romantic little fantasies about carpet slippers and good old-fashioned log fires, that kind of thing, do you? Tell me a bit more about yourself.
Oh, really, Lucy? Yeah, it's a bit chilly hanging about on platforms, and anyway, I find station farewells even worse than embarkations, which at least had the merit of a whiff of good sea air about them. Well, then.
It has been a most enjoyable day. You've been very kind.
Oh, the pleasure has been all mine. Until next time, then.
Until next time. All stations to Jonesbury, Hawley and Broxton-on-Sea. It all sounds terribly intriguing, Inspector, but I really fail to understand how the disappearance, sad though it must be for all concerned, of two ladies I have never met can have anything to do with me, unless I'm being particularly vague this morning.
Not at all. You see, Miss Teatime, one factor is common in both cases. The women had registered not long before their disappearance with a matrimonial agency here in the town. Now, I don't want to be obtuse about this, but we do know that you've registered with the same organisation.
That is quite true.
And naturally, we hope that whatever transpired will have a happy outcome for you. On the other hand, I do think you should be on your guard.
Against disappearing?
Both the women who did had recently found companionship through this agency. Now, the coincidence cannot be ignored. We think that it was the same man in both cases, and that he was responsible for whatever it was that happened to them.
Are you suggesting that this hard-working gentleman may now turn his attentions to me?
I'm not suggesting anything. It's just that your, how shall I put it, your qualifications are exactly those which would attract the attention of the man we're looking for. For instance, you are not without means, I believe.
That is so.
And you are a newcomer to the district, and living on your own.
Well, as you can see, Mr. Purbright. Tell me, does Mrs. Staunch know that you are speaking to me?
No.
I see. Perhaps I don't.
We believe that a plausible and dangerous man is using this agency as a means for finding his victims. Now, I'm sorry if that sounds a trifle melodramatic, but it's the only explanation we have for what's been going on.
Why have you not found him, then?
Because plausible and dangerous men are, as a rule, very clever.
But someone must have seen him with these two ladies, surely.
No one who had any reason to be observant. And the descriptions we have of him are sketchy, to say the least.
So, you have no indication of his identity, then? Oh, dear.
What we do have is a letter that we are satisfied was written by him.
Which you are hoping to match up, as it were.
I don't suppose you've received any such letter, Miss Teatime?
I do appreciate your concern, Inspector. But I must assure you that I am neither gullible nor incapable. If at any time I find that I have cause for concern regarding my personal safety, I shall take steps to see that I am well protected.
You're obviously a woman who knows her own mind.
Not only do I know it, I depend upon it.
But you do see, don't you, that I would be failing in my duty if I hadn't warned you.
Oh, of course, Inspector, and I do appreciate it, but I must beg you not to worry on my account.
I'll try not to.
Good. Come in. Excuse me. Now, is there anything else that I can tell you? Are you sure that you won't have some coffee?
Quite sure, thank you. Oh, and you will let me know, won't you?
Oh, certainly.
You know that man that was just here? He was a policeman.
So he was, my dear. I wonder if you would tell the manager that I would like to hire a motor car. I imagine he'll know of a reputable firm. I'm not late, am I?
No, no, not at all. No, I came early. The sooner I can get done with people like bank managers, the brighter the rest of the day looks.
Yes, they are a bit of a bore, aren't they? And so dilatory these days. Don't you think so, Jack? Or is it just my imagination?
Well, I shouldn't call them clippers exactly. Mind you, as long as you've got some hard cash in the hold, they'll answer the helm quickly enough.
I expect you're right, as always. All I know is that they make life difficult for me. Everything being tied up in, what do they call them? Securities?
Oh, my dear, you see, you don't understand this banking nonsense, do you?
Of course, in 2 months, Daddy's affairs will be settled. Then I can have what I like. In the meantime, I can only draw up to so much, and it really doesn't seem fair.
I know, Lucy.
I get so angry, Jack.
Yes, I know, Lucy, but not today.
Perhaps I shouldn't say this, Jack. After all, we've only met, well, what, 5 times? And yet I already feel that I found someone I can truly confide in, truly rely upon.
Yes, I know what you mean. It's as though... I tell you what, old girl. How about a stroll by the river?
Lovely. If I had a boat, Jack, would you help me look after it?
What sort of boat did you have in mind?
Oh, nothing very big. I think in the trade they call it a 40-footer.
That's not so small, my dear.
It's very nice, though, Jack. I think they call it a cabin cruiser. Would that be it, a cabin cruiser?
Do you know, I think that you have been up to something.
Now, you're not to laugh at me. I will not be laughed at. Promise?
Nelson's honour.
Anyway, Daddy had this boat, you know, this cabin cruiser, moored on the Thames at home. And he used to go sailing with an old friend of his, Mr. Cambridge. Well, after Daddy died, Mr. Cambridge asked if he could possibly buy it. He was very fond of it, I know, and he hadn't very much money, you know, being retired and everything, and so I let him have it for £1,000.
I say.
Oh, I know it wasn't very much money. The The bank nearly disowned me when they found out. And Mr. Cambridge was terribly embarrassed. But I insisted, with one proviso. His idea, not mine. If ever he had to get rid of it, then it was to revert, that's the word, isn't it? Revert to me for the same money.
I jolly well hope so.
Well, anyway, last week I had a letter from his daughter. He's in hospital, poor man, and he's terribly worried about that stupid promise. And strictly between ourselves, he needs the money desperately. So I wrote to her and I said that she was to sell it for whatever it would fetch. The bank said about £10,000. Well, today I received that dear foolish woman's reply. No. If I couldn't have it, nobody else shall. Flat. Final. How can anybody be so stubborn? And yet... Oh, Jack, it is such a temptation. She's such a beautiful little ship. And there's nothing in the world I'd love more than...
Do you know, Lucy, I believe that you have just let out that secret ambition of yours. It's true, isn't it? You want to cast off.
Oh, Jack, you're so understanding. So... masculine.
The answer is simple, my dear. Send Mr. Cambridge the money. Ease his conscience.
But it is not as simple as that. I just do not have the money.
Well, how long would it take? A week?
Oh, longer than that, more like a month. As I told you, my financial advisors are most fastidious. They have no faith in any process that takes less than a fortnight. By then, it'll be too late.
You mean the old chap is dying? Oh. Suppose I were to buy the boat. No, wait. I were to buy the boat, but in your name.
I don't understand.
In other words, let him think that you are the buyer at the agreed price, of course, 1,000. When in fact I will be putting up the money.
Well, but I couldn't let you do that. You don't even know these people.
I know you, Lucy, and I think that I am a fair judge of character.
Oh, Jack.
And what would you say if you saw your little boat bearing down the river with me at the helm? Would you be prepared to board her, for better or worse?
You mean sail in convoy?
Now I'll tell you a little secret. Being a very confident cove, I said to myself the very first time I saw you, that dear lady is going to be your lawful wedding. And last week, I saw the most beautiful cottage. Oh, it's just near where I'm staying. And I just knew. That's the business I've been about this morning. I've been to see the agent. I've been putting down the jolly old deposit.
You mean...
I mean, it's ours. Oh, very soon will be. Now, about the Lucy, she's worth, what, about 10, did you say?
10,000, yes.
So, best thing is for me to take the money down to Mr. Cambridge or his daughter, together with a letter from you saying that I am acting as your agent. Not cash, of course, a cheque signed by you.
Yes, but the bank...
Yes, I know what you're going to say, my dear, but bear with me. I'll give him the money, see that the boat is seaworthy, and then bring her back to you. Should be your property, of course.
No, Jack, yours.
Oh, you'll never be a businesswoman at that rate, my dear. No, the deal will be done in your name, so the Lucy will belong to you. We'll just look on my 1,000 as a little loan that I am very happy to make. Now, about the bank. You were going to say that you don't have enough readily available at the moment to cover the cheque, weren't you? Now, this is what we do. We'll open a joint account. I'll transfer £1,000 into it, and then you can sign a cheque for the boat. There we are, all shipshape and Bristol fashion.
Yes, but what about the bank? Do they allow you to open a joint account?
Of course they do, my dear. All manner of people do. It's just a question of trust, that's all. And if I can't trust you, Lucy...
Well, I would like to put in something to start. I mean, I could give you a cheque, a personal cheque for up to £100. Would that be any good?
And if that's the way you want it, we'll go around today and put your £100 in. At the same time, I'll set the ball rolling to get my little contribution transferred. What's it? 2:30. Just time to pop round and set things moving.
Forensic report on the break-in at Mrs. Staunch's office. Just what you'd expect. Damn all. Lots of lovely prints, though. Could be anybody from the window cleaner to the Lisemore Hydra band.
Bit much to hope for Sexy Rexy to be on record, I suppose, though.
So, nothing there. And only smudges on the letter to Mrs. Bannister.
So much for the miracles of forensic science. Nothing from that Miss, what's her name, Miss, Teatime?
No.
She wouldn't be holding out on us, would she?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Women at that age. One last mad embrace, as it were. Must be a bit desperate. Why else go to that agency?
Why did she go? Having met her,
I think he's lying low. Taking it easy. Digging in somewhere nice and quiet till the next time. If there is a next time.
Sure.
Are you sure that you have my letter from Miss Cambridge?
Your letter of introduction. Your cheque for £1,000. All year safe and sound. She'll put up at my club for the night and then call on her in the morning.
Oh, Jack, are we doing the right thing?
Yes, of course we are, my darling. Now, don't you worry. Soon, very soon, you'll see our little cottage.
Whereabouts is it? Tell me, please.
You'll see.
Please?
That's enough, my girl. You're sailing under sealed orders. Just you leave everything to the navigator.
Oh, Jack, you're so...
Yes, I know. Adaman, monsieur.
À tout à l'heure, mon capitaine.
Merci.
You're nice and early this morning, madam.
I am indeed, my dear. I have a full day ahead of me. Not half as full, however, as my jolly Jack Tar.
Oh, good morning, my... Mr. Cambridge.
What can we do for you, brother?
Do you have a daughter, Mr. Cambridge?
Sure. We got the daughter.
Good morning, Miss Teatime.
Good morning.
I understand you wish to draw £1,000 from the account you have with Mr. Trelawney.
That is so.
How much do you imagine the account contains?
About £1,100.
You seem to be under some misapprehension, I'm afraid. The account contains only the initial deposit of £100.
But Mr. Trelawney came in especially yesterday to pay the £1,000 in out of his own account.
If that was his intention, I'm afraid something must have happened to prevent him doing so.
Oh, dear. How strange.
These things do happen, you know. I mean, we in the bank know how busy people are nowadays and how things easily slip their memories. I expect Mr. Trelawney will be calling in sometime today.
All I can say about Mr. Trelawney is that he has a pretty piss-boiling way of going about things. Good morning.
You wanted me, madam?
I did indeed, my dear. I'm leaving this letter here, on the desk. I'm going out now. If I'm not back by 8 o'clock, or if I haven't telephoned, I want you to deliver that personally, by hand. Now, will you be sure and do that for me?
Is something up, madam?
Not yet, my dear. But it soon might be. Right up.
Ahoy there! Why don't you come ashore?
As a preliminary to our discussion...
Well, it's to be a discussion, is it? How nice. Will you begin or shall I?
Please do not be childish. As a preliminary to our discussion, I must ask you not to use any more Jolly Jack Tar expressions. I have suffered a number of courtships in my life, but never before one that made me seasick.
Oh, something worse than seasickness to worry about before I finish with you, woman.
Threats are in the interest of neither of us. They are ill-mannered and unbusinesslike.
How long have you known about this place?
Oh, since our 4th or 5th meeting. You'll want to know how, of course. By the use of a railway timetable, an ordnance survey map, and the hire of a motor car.
You followed me here?
Aren't I the naughty one?
What do you want?
Compensation. I do not feel that I've been fairly treated. So if you will kindly make out a cheque, a genuine one this time, for £1,000, I shall be much obliged.
You just say you got the bloody neck to come out here and try and drag money out of me after what's happened?
I do.
You prissy mouth, poor-eyed chiseling bitch.
If you really feel that we have reached the exchange of compliments stage, I can only assure you that the choice between spending 1 hour in your company, Mr. Trelawney, and being sewn for a week into a bag of discarded boil dressings would be by no means easy to make.
Cow.
I advise you not to waste any more time trying to think up expletives. You lack the talent. Now, if you will kindly make out that cheque, a great deal of trouble can be avoided for you in particular.
Trouble? For me?
The situation is not without a certain piquancy. I have known for some time that your intentions towards me were dishonourable. I'm also aware of the disappearance of 2 other ladies, a Miss Reckitt and a Mrs. Bannister. The police are trying to find the man who engineered their disappearance. In fact, you. The amusing thing is that you have not so far been arrested because I have personally managed to keep distance between you and the officer who is so anxious to place his hand on your collar.
So, the police know nothing about me?
Thus far, no.
I see.
Oh, dear, you are so woefully transparent, Jackie boy.
Am I?
You are saying to yourself, just knock off this lady as well, and then everything will be hunky-dory.
It does seem to me to be a good idea. In fact, I'm sold on it.
No. Surely that incommodious brain of yours must realize that I would never have been fool enough to come here without taking some precaution.
What kind of precaution?
It's in the form of a time limit. If I am not back by 8 o'clock, the police of Flaxborough will receive a package containing your letters.
Well,
With my name and address, no doubt.
No, just the means of discovering them with singularly little trouble.
How little?
Just a peep into the files of that excellent matrimonial agency, Jack Dear. Or should I say, Mr. 4122.
You surely don't imagine my husband's name is in the files, Miss Teatime. There is no 4122. I think a burglar must have lifted it.
And you've no idea where she went?
No, sir, nowhere. Nothing.
Damn.
No answer from Mrs. Staunch. Must be out somewhere.
You do realise, Sid, don't you, that if anything happens to that woman, it's my fault.
Where's Donald?
Oh, it's Donald, is it? Well, I'm afraid, my dear, Donald has fallen for me in rather a big way. Oh, don't worry, my dear. He's still alive, if not exactly kicking. Operator? Good evening, my dear. I wonder if you'd be so very kind as to connect me to a policeman.
I must say, they did have rather an extraordinary tale to tell of your involvement, Miss Teatime.
Well, I can't imagine what, Inspector.
Not that I was particularly interested in what they had to say about you, of course.
No doubt you've made up your own mind as to my capabilities.
Oh, I have. I have indeed.
Suffice to say that there's more than one way of pinning a rat.
And was that your sole reason for...
Of course.
And why you didn't inform me as to the address of the... Yes. Are you staying in Flaxborough long, Miss Teatime?
Oh, I think so, Inspector.
Good. Perhaps we shall meet under less,
Or perhaps we shall.
No. Yeah. Oh, one other thing. Did you hire a car from the Temple garage?
Until tomorrow, yes.
Yeah. It's just that they've been on to us. Something about next month's date on the cheque you gave them. They apparently have only just noticed it. And Bob Temple being a bit of an old woman, you know.
Oh, dear, how silly of me. I shall go in and rectify it this morning.
Yes, I said you would.